Hi, my name is Shanti Laska. I'm the founder of Ballast Point Financial Planning, a fee-only firm serving young professionals aged 25 to 45. I'm located in the Bay Area in California. I'm creating this video to share with you how I keep track of the measurable, quantifiable results that I achieve with my clients, and I thought it'd be a valuable resource for you to see as well. So let's get started. I'm calling this how to save your clients $479 a month, but basically it's just quantifying the value of financial planning. I'm going to go over why do I do this with my clients, how do I do this, and what are the tips, hacks, and strategies. I'm going to go over, there's about 17 that I really love that I do with all of my clients, or I see if they're a good fit for those. There's others that I don't use with all my clients, but they're still good to have in our arsenal. And then there's some others that just good to keep in the back of our minds. So why should you keep track of this? It helps with your prospect meetings. It's great to say to a prospect, in each meeting you have with a prospect, typically they ask some type of a question like, what's going to be my ROI? Or what's this going to cost me? Or why should I have to pay for this? Or what am I going to get out of it? So when I get that question, it's really great to have some data to back it up and say, on average, I'm able to help my clients save $479 a month. I've done this with 24 of my clients. So my average fee is about $250 a month. And it's almost like a game that I play where I try to more than make up for my fee with all these tips. It also improves your confidence. When I first started out, I was like, am I going to add value to these people? And kind of seeing the impact that you can have over time just kind of gives you that confidence when you're meeting with prospects and then in client meetings as well. And then it's also easier to raise your fees. So I'm about 20 months into my business and I'm starting to raise the fees for my early clients that I brought on. And it's really easy to show, I'm saving you $300 a month. I'm going to raise your fee from $150 to $200 a month. It's a lot easier to do that. I've done that with about 10 of my clients, and I've gotten pushback from one so far. So it's been really helpful. And then also I'm doing this because I want this to be a resource for other planners so that we can all benefit from this. So, if you have tips that you want to add to the spreadsheet, I'm going to make it editable. I'm going to keep one master copy, but feel free to add your own tips as well. This is what I like to call results thus far in green. These are things that actually improve their cash flow. So, increasing the deductible on their auto insurance. I do some credit card hacks. All these things kind of improve their cash flow. The things in yellow, it kind of just changes the timing of when things are due, like changing their federal allowances. It does improve their cash flow, but they're gonna either have to owe the IRS money at the end of the year, or they're gonna get less of a refund. And then red is things that actually cost money. So like increasing their auto insurance coverages or getting renter's insurance, things like that. So gross savings is the total savings that they get from all of these strategies. And then the net real savings is we take out these yellow ones that are just kind of the timing of expenses. So in the first section, I'm going to go over my favorite tips. The second one are tips that I have used with clients, but I'm not going to go over each one of those, but it's a good resource for you to have. And in section 3 are good ideas, but I haven't necessarily used them with clients, or I might not necessarily even, recommend my clients to do that. So that's kind of where we kind of collect all the other ideas that are out there. The people that have helped me out a lot with this is Eric Gabor, especially with like the credit card hacks and things like that. Liz Plott, she's my client service associate here at Ballast Point. She's helped make this a little bit prettier to look at. And then at XYPN 17 in Dallas, I did a breakout session, and there were like 10 of us that were all like putting things into this spreadsheet. And then hopefully you'll contribute to this as well. All right, so this is the spreadsheet. You guys will get a link to this as well. So I kind of organized it by my favorite ones that are just kind of slam dunks for you and your clients. So just raising your auto insurance deductible from $500 to $1,000, for collision, that'll reduce that premium by about 30%. So that's for the collision portion of the insurance policy. Some of these are going to be credit card hacks, like the Chase Sapphire Preferred. Literally, like once you get that 50,000 bonus points, you can use that to pay off $500 of your credit card, or just transfer that to your bank. So some of these you have to have a good credit score, and once you meet a certain spending, that's when you get these bonuses. But that's just like that's a really easy one, like a real easy entryway into like kind of credit card and travel hacking. And if you use it for travel, the points are worth even more. Another easy one is high yield savings accounts. Ally Bank pays 1.3%. I mean, how many times have we seen our clients with hundreds of thousands of dollars just sitting there in savings at Bank of America or Chase earning 0.01? If they have 100 grand just sitting there, that effectively adds like $1,000 of interest per year. Refinancing student loan debt. This is one of my favorites. It does require a lot of legwork, and it's only appropriate for people that have private student debt, or if it makes sense for people to get private student debt. But basically, think about someone who's maybe making $80,000 a year or $100,000 a year. They have like $30,000 or $40,000 of student loan debt. The interest rate's maybe 6%. Well, what you do is you break up that loan into 3 smaller chunks. So I like using SoFi, Common Bond, and Earnest. And usually you can lower the interest rate, you shorten the term of the loan, and then for each one you refinance, you get a bonus of $300 to $500. So here's some links here to get those bonuses. One thing to note there is you only have to refinance $5,500 per loan. So if someone has $10,000 of loans, they can only refinance with one of these lenders. But if they have 20,000, you could refinance with 3 of them and then get $1,000 worth of bonuses. You'll notice that I do a lot of these things that like require a good credit score. So tracking someone's credit is really important, making sure they have a good credit score. That's kind of the first thing you need to do. Moving to lower cost investments, how many times have we seen active funds or just funds with high expense ratios? So by lowering people's expense ratios from like 1% down to 0.2%, that has a material impact. So this one isn't necessarily something that's going to impact their cash flow, but it is quantifiable, and it is something that I like to keep track of. Sometimes they're paying another advisor directly, so that does improve their cash flow. Switching from a Roth 401k to a regular 401k. So sometimes clients, they set up the Roth 401k and they never check back. So this one client, he did that 7 years ago, and his income has raised really significantly. And so by switching to the regular 401k, that'll defer about like $7,000 worth of taxes per year, which is huge. Adjusting allowances on the paychecks, we kind of went over that one. Converting variable universal life to a term policy. So one of my clients had $130,000 in a cash value in their life insurance. And the guy that sold it to him said, this is going to be a college savings for your kids. So what we did was we took about 20,000 of that and converted that into a term policy. And it was a fully paid up term policy. So he was able to pull out $110,000 of that cash value. And then his monthly premiums were about $1,000 per month. So this is something I worked with Mark Maurer at Low Load Insurance on. That was an awesome value add. Credit card debt reshuffle. So if someone has credit card debt, the average interest rate's about 18%. One card that I really, really like is the Chase Slate card. It's got a 0% balance transfer and a 0% interest rate. I think it's for 15 months. So this is what I call stopping the bleeding. So, typically you'll only get about $6,000 or $7,000 of a credit limit with the Slate card, but that'll cut off that bad debt interest payments. Just plain paying down high interest credit card debt. That'll help with their cash flow. The Chase Sapphire Reserve is another good credit card. It does have a high annual fee, but you get a bunch of travel credits, and then the sign-up bonus could be worth about $750. Chase from time to time has these sign-up bonuses for checking and savings accounts. You get those in the mail. That could be worth as much as $500. Having your client max out the ESPP if they have one available, and then having them sell those shares as soon as they can. and just have them view that as a cash bonus. And they'll pay short-term capital gains on it. But basically they get, some of these plans, you get the lower of the beginning period price or the ending period. And if the stock has gone up over those 6 months or 3 months or whatever the period is, that could be worth a lot of money just by setting aside some money from their paycheck. HSA, sometimes employers will contribute on their behalf to this plan, to their HSA account. Usually it's a lower fee than an HMO or PPO. It's good for relatively healthy clients who don't go to the doctor too often. And then you get a tax break, with the money that you put in. I think you guys are all familiar with that, how the HSAs work. This is going to be more and more popular, just as companies are trying to control their health insurance costs. High yield checking accounts. I really like the Charles Schwab account. There's a $100 bonus just for signing up. And if your clients travel, like internationally, they reimburse for all ATM fees. I just hate paying ATM fees. And I have the Charles Schwab card, or Charles Schwab checking account. And it's just nice to just be able to be, no matter where you are, you can get your ATM fees reimbursed. It just feels like, just feels like freedom. One of the best credit card hacks out there is this Southwest Companion Pass. You can apply for 2 cards right now, and each one will give you 50,000 bonus points. Once you get up to 110,000 bonus points, you can add a companion to your account. So I have it right now with my wife, and so every time that she flies, she can add me as a companion, and I just pay and I just fly for free. And so also when you use those 110,000 points for travel, that's worth about $1,800 of travel. And when you add your companion to that, that's $3,600 worth of travel. So if you get it right now, it's January of 2018. It'll be good for the rest of 2018 and then all of 2019. So it's almost 2 full years that you can have this companion travel. Obtaining cheaper renter's insurance. This is a cool company that does renter's insurance. They're in like the big cities. I don't know if they're in every city. It's called Lemonade. It can be as cheap as $5 or $7 a month for renter's insurance. You just want your clients to protect their assets. And it's really inexpensive. This next section are things that I have used with my clients, but they're not, as slam dunks as some of these other ones. So this is a good resource to check out. By the way, everything is color coded based on like a cash flow tip or a credit card hack or tax planning. And then this third section down here, these are tips that are good tips, but I haven't necessarily used them with my clients. Like this Super Roth, I think is a good idea, but I've never actually implemented that with anybody. Negotiating lower medical bills, all of these things. So I hope you guys found this useful. This results thus far. This is actually something I keep track of with all of my clients, and I have a file for each one of my clients. So feel free to use this. But yeah, get creative. Like, keep track of all these tips that you give your clients. Increasing their 401k contribution rate from 5 to 10%. That'll defer their federal taxes. So all of these things they do add up. Feel free to shoot me an email or comment or anything. I'm happy to be a resource for you guys, and I hope you found this useful. Thanks.